Unity has just released the VR multiplayer template, and there's just so much to talk about it, I don't even know where to start. So, Unity Netcode for Gameobject is Unity's own solution to build multiplayer game. I previously talked about it on this channel in a two-part tutorial series to build a mini VR multiplayer game with automatic connection and by synchronizing the player's position. But of course, making a VR multiplayer game is so much more work and it's not that easy. So I was very happy when Unity announced they were releasing a sample to help us with some of the core system. But I was not expecting something like this, that contains basically everything that we can dream of. And when I say everything, I really mean everything. In this template, we have avatar customization, players lobby, network interactable, and even 3 mini games. That is completely insane. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up this template and do a little presentation of what you will find inside. But first, a big shout out to the sponsor of this video, Wonderland Engine. You might already know Wonderland from this tutorial that I made about it a while ago, and that you will find in the description. Now, Wonderland Engine is a game engine that focuses on making both mixed and virtual reality game on the web. It is free to download, easy to use, with an active community to help you build your dream XR game on the web. So if you want to check it out, go watch the tutorial that I made on this subject in the description down below and check out their website wonderlandengine.com. But without further ado, let's get started with our tutorial. Okay, so to set up the VR multiplayer template, it is very simple. We simply need to go to a new project. And here you need to select a version of Unity above 2021.3, mine is 2022.3, but anything above should work. And then if you go down below, you should see here a template called VR multiplayer, which you can select. You will first need to download it, but mine is already downloaded, so I can simply directly set its project name. Let's do VR multiplayer template test. You can select a certain location, a Unity organization, and here make sure to select Connect to Unity Cloud. Then finally, we simply need to click on Create Project. Okay, and after some time, this is what you should see. The VR template is finally opened. Now, this template comes with a little tutorial that will help us to set it up with the Unity Network for Gameobject configuration. Now we can click over there on the Start UGS, click on Save. Then this will ask us to configure the gaming services, which we can do by simply clicking on Next. So as you can see, this opens the services general setting page and it already creates one project ID for us. We can close this window and then click on Next again. And this time this will set up a Vivox for us and add a Vivox token, which will allow the voice chat to work inside this project. We can close this window and then click on Next again. And there it is, the UGS setup is complete. And now at this point, this tutorial will show you the different scene and the different element that it contains, but this is why I'm also here for, so I'm simply going to click on down to skip it. Now we can right click on the tutorials here and then click on close tab. And there you go, now everything is down. The project is already set up, believe it or not, to work with a multiplayer. And we can make sure that it is the case by going to Edit, Project Settings. If we go down to XR Plugin Management, we can see that the XR has been enabled for desktop with OpenXR and Android with an OpenXR as well. We can see on the services that this seems to work with Vivox working as well. And if we want to have a deeper look at what's going on within the Unity Netcode for Gameobject with Relay and Lobby, we can click here on the dashboard. And this will open the dashboard page for the game that we just created. And we can see on this page that we have Relay and the lobby working together as well as Vivox. And this is where you will see some graph about your data used with each one of these services. Oh, and by the way, don't be scared if you don't see this page like this at first, because it takes some time for it to set it up the first time. But anyway, automatically the VR template has done all of the job for us. Let's go back to it and we can close here this window. And now if we go to the project windows and then on scene, we can see that we have two scenes currently on the project. We have here this sample scene that we can already look at right now, and which contain a lot of stuff that we will be able to look at in a few minutes. But first, I think it will be a great idea to first have a look at the basic scene, which we can open by double clicking on it. There you go, let me resize this window, and if we look around, this is what we can see inside this basic scene. And as you guessed it, the basic scene is pretty basic. We have an XR player, which is within the XR Origin hence XRBrick MP template variant prefab. We have the Network Manager, VR Multiplayer, and the XRI Network Connection Manager, which purpose is to connect multiple players together. And by the way, this connection will occur simply by clicking here on the Join Online button. Now on the environment, it is also pretty simple, but we already have two elements that we can look at. On the left side, we have physics-based interactable that the player will be able to grab, and on the right side, non-physics-based interactable. So if we select one of these elements, we can go down below and we can see that there is a network object and a client network transform to synchronize the position, the rotation, and the scale of the object. But also, and most importantly here, this network physics interactable script, which purpose is, well, to synchronize the different state of this interactable over the network. So that, for example, if I'm grabbing the object, its position is shared to the other player, but the other player cannot grab them anymore, which means that we are the owner of the object while grabbing it. But enough of talking, I think that now it is time to test already this basic scene to have a look at what's inside. Now the question is, how can we test this scene? And basically what we need is to have two instances of this game running. Now the simplest method is simply to build the game, which we can do by going to File, Build Settings. There we can see the two scenes, and I'm going to disable the sample scene and add here this basic scene, which is this one. Now right now the platform is selected to Windows, Mac and Linux because I want to test this game in PC, but of course you can select Android and build this game as an APK to test it directly inside a standalone VR headset like the Quest. And now we can simply build and run the application. Okay, after some time, as you can see, the build has been successful. We can see the build over there, which means that I have one instance of the game running, and I can have another one on the same computer by simply clicking on play over there. So let's do this immediately. Okay, so here we go. We have two instances of the game running, one from the build that we just did, and another one inside the Unity editor. Now let's simply click on Join Online with the trigger button. And now, as you can see, we are connected, which means that we have successfully created a room that the other player will be able to join. So if we select the other instance of our game and that we join as well, there it is. We can see each other avatar. As you can see, the different position of the avatar is synchronized. We can see our mouth even moving and the name of the player. And already there are some amazing stuff that we can notice inside this setup. So for example, if we look at the left controllers, we have this menu button which we can push. And on this menu, you can actually change some settings about the locomotion. So for example, if you want to disable the tunneling vignette, you can do so here. But you have some settings also to join or create a room over there. You have some settings about the avatar. So for example, we can change the color. And if we open the other instance of our game, we can see that this change of color is currently synchronized over the network, which is awesome, as well as the name. Because if I select the name over there, we have this awesome keyboard also showing. So the keyboard is not multiplayer, of course, but this is so cool to see a keyboard already working from the Unity XR toolkit. And so let's click on clear and name it test. And there you go. As you can see on the right side, the name test has been updated correctly. Now let's close this window, and another thing that we can show is here these interactable which we can grab, and as you can see they are synchronized over the network. I can move them somewhere and the other player can see the grab object moving as well. The position is updating, the rotation as well, but the scale too, which is super nice to see. And there you go. Now let's close these windows, and I think that this gives you kind of an overview of what's going on inside this basic scene, and I hope that this gets you excited for what's coming next, because what you will find in not the basic scene but the main scene is even better. Now it's noteworthy to know that right now we have tested this multiplayer game on the same computer by simply building it. You can of course send one of the build to one of your friends to test it together, but if you need to test solo, a better technique is to use Parallel Sync. Parallel Sync is a Unity package that you can simply add to your project and that can clone this Unity project so that you will have two Unity editors running at the same time that are the same. And of course, you can use it to test the application on two different instances of your game. I will leave in the description below the documentation for this multiplayer VR template, which contain here this step-by-step parallel sync setup. Now, anyway, let's go back to Unity, go to the scene folder and double click on the sample scene because I think that now it is finally time to test what the big scene has to offer us. Okay, so here we go, we are inside the big scene, and as you can see we have like a little tutorial on the right side, which is really nice to see, and we can see this little panel to create or join a room over there that we can reach either by teleporting or maybe just moving with the continuous movement on the left thumbstick. Now, as you can see, there is a tunneling effect, and if you don't want it, you can actually just look at your left controllers. You will see this little menu icon showing, which you can poke, and this should bring us the menu for this game. We can see our microphone, we can see the time, and if we go down below to the settings, if we go to locomotion, we can go here and maybe just simply disable the tunneling vignette. Okay, let's maybe close this window and let's go over there. Okay, so first thing first, we can see our little face right there, which is blue, and we can even change the color over there by clicking on randomize color. So let's keep it this way. We can also change the name like we've seen before. So in my case, I'm going to click on clear and set the name to Valem. Beautiful. Then if we click on confirm, we have this window which will allow us to create or join a room in 3 ways. We can either enter a room code over there, quick join a public room, or create a new room ourselves, and this is what I'm going to do. So if we select the new room, we can give a name. I'm going to name this test. Beautiful. We can set if the room is private or not. If the room is private, it means that no other player will be able to quick join it, but that all of the other players will only be able to join this room with the room code that will be created. So in my case, I will simply leave it to public like this. We can set here the player count, which I will leave to 15, and then click on create. And as you can see, in a matter of a few seconds, we have a success appearing, which means that as you can see over here, we are connected to the network and inside the test room that we just created. So here on this panel, you will see different information about the room. You have the room code, which you can share to the other player and that they can use to enter the room. We can see the number of participants and the participants down below, which is just me for now. But if we build a game and give it to a friend, we should be able to see it over there. And this is what I'm going to do. Okay, and here we go. Now I have sent the game to one of my friends. He was able to join with the quick join because this room is public. We can see now that this new player has joined the room on this panel, and we have our avatar synchronized together. This is awesome. We can also see the name of the person, the color that he chose, and even the microphone volume, because now voice chat is working even if I disable it. Otherwise it would have been too annoying. But anyway, this is super cool to see. And now that our positions are synchronized, we can move freely around on this scene and everything should work. For example, if I climb over there, I will let my friend climb. Everything seems perfect. Okay, now let's move on to the next station. If we go just a bit further, we can see here this message board, and as you might guess it, this is some place where we will be able to send each other some message. I think this is awesome that they've added this feature inside this template. So for example, if I write hello, the other player can read this message and respond. Okay, let's close the keyboard and go into the next station, which I think is really awesome as well. And it is this music player. So this music player is actually synchronized over this room network. This means that the two players over here can just select one of these buttons and that the control will be sent to the others. So just to show you, I will let my friend just mess up with the volume. And as you can see, we can see the volume being updated in real time from what he is doing. This is super cool. Okay, now let's move to the next station, which is the most important for us VR developer, because this is the one where we can have some synchronized interactable. So let's see, we can each other grab these objects, and as you can see, they are synchronized over the network, so we can change their position and rotation. We can even change the scale, and this should be updated in the network as well. Okay, so as you can see, we have the position, the rotation, the scaling of all of the grabbable objects that are synchronized. But more than that, if you grab one usable object, like this gun, there is also the synchronization of the use of this object. So if I send this object to Xavier, the two players can use this object and everything is synchronized as well. For example, another synchronization working is here, these two constrained objects. So the lever and here this button, the two players can move it and everything is synchronized as well. So already I think that all of these stations are awesome, but let's move on to the star of the show, the mini game that were added. Now there are two things important with this mini game. First is the score system from this leaderboard, and then the most important part is the synchronization of the start of the game. Let me just show you with here this Whack-A-Pig game. So if we just move on and click on join, we can see that one player is inside this game. And if another player join, we can see the two players over there. So right now this game will not start. But if one of players enters this zone, we can see that the game will be starting in 15 seconds. But if we place each other to one side and that the two player enters, we can see that the game starts a bit quicker. And there you go, as you can see, we can play the game together. We have the spawning of the pig that is synchronized. And as you can see, we have a score system showing at the top. Now that the game has ended, we can see the score of the two players with a next game starting in 5 seconds. And there you go, this shows you a little bit everything that you can see inside this marvelous sample scene. We have the different stations, but also the logic of the minigame. Feel free to try all of them, they are really awesome. There is the climb game over there on this side, which you can join, the Whack-A-Pig game that you just saw, and here a slingshot. And there you go guys, I hope that you enjoyed this little overview of what the VR multiplayer template has to offer. Of course, this is not really a technical tutorial, but if you guys are interested, I would love to create a small multiplayer VR game myself using some of the components that this template contains. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like down below. A big shout out to my Patreon and especially to the ones that are appearing on the screen right now and that joined this week. If like them, you want to get access to the source code of all of my tutorials and exclusive content, like this multiplayer collocation game tutorial, join us, the link is in the description. Thank you for watching, see you soon, bye bye.